Oh, this is driving me absolutely crazy. Yeah, no, it's not Ironsides. So exactly, that's why Wikipedia is an absolute joke if it says that. Okay, let's just go ahead and go back to calls. I'm not going to sit there and obsess over all that. Let's talk to Steve in Texas. Steve, you're on the air.
Yeah, hey, good afternoon, Alex. First of all, Cromwell's title was Lord Protector and Defender of the Faith.
That's it, Lord Protector.
Yeah, I, unlike a lot of Americans, but like you, I read, and I'm a student of history. And before I get to why I called, I've got a direct quote. The other night, I just happened to pull up on Google. I hadn't seen this movie in a long time. And, of course, you know, H.G. Wells was a big globalist and a eugenicist. There's a movie I saw on TV several times when I was a kid, and I happened to pull it up because I wanted to watch it on Google. It's called The Time Machine. And I want to give you a direct quote from that movie that just blew me away when I heard it.
No, it's based on H.G. Wells, the Time Machine, the top eugenicist.
Right. And this is the 1960 movie, not the two remakes after that. But before I give you this quote, I just wanted to say in response to a few callers earlier where he was basically, you know, trying to nicely criticize you for how you're being. And I want to say this not because I'm trying to defend you. You don't need anybody to defend you, because you've made it real clear. This whole thing, what you're doing, it's not about Alex Jones. It's about standing up, just like the Founding Fathers, for what's good and right and true. I've been a Christian for over 30 years. I'm convinced of the truth of the Word of God, and so I stand for it, and because of that, I've gotten a lot of opposition. And I've even had people accuse me, just like you've been, of being mean-spirited and cruel and, you know, not understanding, insensitive, unchristian, etc. And it's all a bunch of bull, and this is what I wanted to say to the guy that called in, for people that just simply can't deal with the truth and don't have the same mindset of somebody who knows the truth and will not back down from it. And I'll tell you, I've listened to Rush Limbaugh and, you know, Savage and these other guys, and I don't agree that these guys are coming around, because they're still hooked on the very thing that you harp on the most, which is exposing the false left-right paradigm. They're still viewing Obama like he's just a leftist liberal, instead of seeing things from the point of view that you exposed in the Obama deception.
Yeah, it's all about world government. It's all about offshore elites that own both parties, and it's so illegitimate and criminal that foreign banks have stolen $23.7 trillion in less than 10 months. And my God, arrest them all. Instead, they're setting up a police state. I appreciate your call. It was good to hear from you, Steve. We're going to Ronnie, Travis, Chris, Matt, and others. But I promised to get to this. This is a video clip from Fox News, Dr. Mark Siegel on rationing care. In a way, it's a form of eugenics, he says. Well, it's not in a way a form of eugenics. It is eugenics. That's what this whole system is. We have an 1,100-page textbook written by the president's chief science advisor, the science czar, Holdren. And the guy he co-authored the textbook with was the congressional advisor and the presidential advisor to Bush. I mean, these people run things. That's what all this is for. That's what their own documents say. It's not my opinion. People can say, oh, well, that guy's a nut, or that guy yells and screams. How am I not supposed to yell and scream about, I mean, again, how do you yell and scream about football and baseball and track? You get so upset if your people don't win. And I don't say you're bad for getting upset about sports, but this is elites poisoning your water, man. On record. A world government with a CPS will take everyone's children at birth, and they're setting it up. And now they want to socialize health care so government can control what health care you get, and hundreds of new taxes, and taxes on toilet paper. We gave you the bill number, and taxes on drinks, and taxes on food, and just total control. It's happening now. All these top pundits are admitting this is like the Soviet Union, but it's for the bankers. They're robbing us. Here's the clip.
Meanwhile, joining us live in the studio, we got Dr. Mark Siegel, Fox News medical contributor. Doctor, yesterday the Mayo Clinic came out and said this plan of the president's is not good. It's not going to be good for health care. And I understand you are quitting the AMA.
I wrote about it in the New York Post today. I'm quitting the AMA because the AMA does not represent us if they can come out in support of a plan that is going to put doctors under the bus. First of all, if there's going to end up being rationed care here, which there will be if the government takes over and they make the decisions for us, you know what that's going to do? That's going to increase my liability. Right. Not only won't I be able to provide the services that I need to provide for my patients, I'm still going to be responsible for it. Let the government take on the liability.
Stop. It'll be just like vaccine makers. You'll be given total immunity. Now you can cut the wrong leg off or let somebody die of staph. Care is going to just look. Canada, England, they all come here. You got to wait 16, 18 months for a brain surgery that you'll die if you don't get it in 3 months. If you're above 60, you die. These are eugenicists. This is about them having their way with us. These are the folks that want to force Medicaid our water. Go ahead and keep planning.
Said that if you are happy with your health care, nothing's going to change. If you like yours, you keep it the way it is. Is he lying?
He's disingenuous. I'll tell you why. Because I know my own office is going to change. There's going to be more people trying to get in. I'm going to have less and less time to take care of them. Reimbursements to doctors and hospitals are being cut.
Yeah, hit pause again. We're going to come back and finish it. Back it up. He's absolutely right. They've already, under Bush and now Obama, federalized the data keeping, the upgrades, the computers, what procedures you can do if you take Medicare and Medicaid. That's why Ron Paul in his practice wouldn't take it, because you go under their control. This forces you to go under it, even if you don't want it, and puts in the system of control and begins the rationing, where if you're on the government system, they ration you, and then if you make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, they give you a 5.4 surcharge to pay for everybody else's, which will then be eugenics. So I want you to hear him say eugenics when I get back. Everything is eugenics. Eugenics, 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 eugenics. Did I tell you it's all about eugenics? The world government's all about being able to force eugenics on you? Because if I don't say it once, I want to say it again. It's about eugenics. World government to carry out eugenics. All right, we got Gerald Celente at 8 after in the second segment, the next hour, for the balance of that hour. I want to go to Ronnie, Travis, Chris, Matt, Linda, and a few others. Before he gets on with us, we'll continue with calls as well. In some of the other news, I already mentioned this, but folks really should go read the story at prisonplanet.com. Cost of bailout hits a whopping $24 trillion, or $23.7 trillion, over $80,000 for every American. Bloomberg, AP, Reuters are all reporting this now. Watson got this from C-SPAN. We even have the C-SPAN clips where they bring this up to Bernanke, and he says, yeah, I'm not going to tell you where the money is. I've got clip after clip after clip of this, but they're all up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. They're all over the web. We're not going to play them in the interest of time. But let's finish up this eugenics clip. You know, they got us fighting over 20, 30, 40, 50 billion a year over some health care for 20% of the public that's not insured. And, of course, the insurance companies are lobbying to make you do this, and they can jack up prices. This is the beginning of the totally controlled economy, where they control Ford, GM, Chrysler, all the businesses. Here it is, where they say it's eugenics, which is the truth.
He's disingenuous. I'll tell you why. Because I know my own office is going to change. There's going to be more people trying to get in. I'm going to have less and less time to take care of them. Reimbursements to doctors and hospitals are being cut. If I'm being paid less, I got to work faster. That means I send more and more people for expensive tests. He's going to try to cost cut, which means he's going to ration care. So he's going to tell me what I can order, what I can't.
And when you talk about rationing, and we were just talking to Dick Morris about this, he's done some research, and when you start rationing healthcare, and it looks as if that couldn't happen. I mean, if you got 50 million more people into the system and a certain number of doctors, people are going to be in line, and you're going to have to determine who gets the next treatment, is unfairly, the elderly are the ones who are going to get shortchanged.
That's so true. I mean, in a way, it's a form of eugenics. Oh, you're not good enough to live. Now, look, Allison made a great point off the air, which is some people, we do overtreat at the last days of life. But who do you want to make that decision? The art of medicine is the doctor and the patient making that together, not some government
folks.
bureaucrat.
That's it. And the elite don't want you to have access to your own medical care. They love the power that it's going to come from the state. And it is in trouble. But as they bankrupt things and then half the public doesn't have it, then they'll say, oh, we've got to give health care. And they'll compromise with just taking over part of the system so they can get all of it later. That's why they're destroying the economy. I saw a video last night online of Robert Pastor, the big North American Union head, who came up with a lot of the system's details, saying out of this crisis, we're going to bring this system in. So it is certainly happening, certainly going on. I'm going to start the next hour, take a few of your calls, and get to Gerald Celente. Before I end this hour, I do want to encourage listeners to get some of the new videos and books that we're carrying on eugenics, on vaccines, on forced drugging of, in some states, 75% of foster children, how it's causing kids to commit suicide. Generation RX, available at Infowars.com, or you can call toll-free to get it, 888-253-3139. Of course, the eugenics masterpiece, the overall New World Order plan, the one film everybody's got to see. This needs to be in everybody's library, shown to friends and family. Please get Endgame today at Infowars.com. You can get